Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. This is just a not so quick one, probably knowing me. Just to give my marra Seamy over at the Seamy BMW channel. There'll be a link to Seamy's channel in the description. In the new year he's going to be working on a 1 in 24 Huey helicopter from Vietnam. I think it's something like that. And well, it's a Huey. And he just wanted some ideas for some figures that he's printed off to go with it. So these are some of the colours I use. These would be, oh, hang on, we're steering the tubesters wrong here, Gav. As you can hear Gav's drawers sliding open, getting a couple more out. So just to give you a couple more ideas. Right, squeeze those in on the end there. These are majority AK, couple of Vallejos. Here's a whole clutch more of Vallejos. I use these all the time as well, but I'm just really going to show these ones. I just think it's a bit easier in line. So if you're doing a black base coat, I often use, black primer. I use this base coat from AK, from their figure range. I would strongly recommend that go with a paint brand company, whatever that you decide that you like to use, not what Gav's showing you, just whatever you decide to use. And also don't get tied in by what it's called, just roughly get tied in by what colour I'm showing you. Yes, when this is out the bottle and it dries, as in all paints do, they tend to go a bit darker, but this is what I'm just going to show to give you an idea anyway. So this is base flesh from AK, their next generation range. If on a black base coat, it will normally take a couple of coats, might even take 3. You can go slightly thicker with this on a base coat, base the whole entire figure, or the flesh areas that you want to paint. You might get away with 2. On a grey, which I'll often paint on, I will sometimes just get away even with 1. It just depends. So 1 to 3 coats on that, not massively thinned out. Once you've done that, then you're looking for your first highlight areas really. A couple of colours you can use. We're going to say we can use these all in the same place, so it just makes it easier. But beige red and orange tan. I have to keep right on the side because the oils from my hands often rub out what they're called. So get these slightly thinner. Thinner meaning, I can't really show you, but on your fingernail, it's not a glaze. You're not looking to see almost like tinted water, but you should be able to see roughly your nail through it. That's might be my idea. If you just put a dab on. So beige red. If you're going to come up like this sliding scale here, so we'd have a couple of coats of our base coat, first coat of beige red, leaving some of the base coat in the darker areas. Then all the other transitions now, you do at least 50-50. So if we were going up to the orange tan, we would go beige red first, let that dry either with a hairdryer or naturally, and then mix 50-50 the orange and beige together. And what you're doing on painting on is the larger surface area, you're decreasing it each time. If that makes sense. So taking this for instance, if you can see this, because it's a cylinder, you can see the light shining on it down here as a highlight. And if you can just about see, obviously it goes darker obviously as we get more to about this area, then you might get a bit of light bounce back underneath. That's really technical, you don't need to know any of that really, but all I'm saying is you're decreasing, you're going into the shadow areas or you're going into your highlight areas. So your base coat that I've just shown you would be in your darkest areas, and then you're building up the different colors to your final highlights, say right at the top. So beige is your next highlight, then mix 50-50 with your orange tan, then orange tan by itself, I'll take this out of the equation for a moment, and then I start adding in radiant flesh. Now this is a really nice sunny skin tone, and the AK equivalent, which I don't use as much these days, but slightly difference in them, but especially under that light, Gav, is quite radiant. Now what I do with that is I will build up that in, I'll have a small bit of orange tan, and I'll just keep adding to this orange tan pool as I go until I've done a couple of extra highlights, and then I use this by itself, the radiant flesh, and to make it really sparkly, as in really radiant, you can add a very small amount of ice yellow in, only a small amount though, and you can even use this, if you water it down enough, you can use this as a very last highlight. It'll give you that glowing look that you see, which is quite popular these days. I think came over from the Spanish painting schools. You can use this shadow, this is shadow flesh, but honestly use any reds, whatever you fancy. But this is marketed as shadow flesh, and it's quite nice. It's a warm colour, as you can see. Some people would have gone base coat, then put this into the darkest areas, and that's fine. I just prefer to do it actually at the end. In fact, before the ice lemon goes in, I would put that in my shadow areas. If you don't want to be too fancy on smaller figures, you can go around the nostrils, around the inside the ears, around the ears, under the cheeks, anywhere where you'd expect to see obviously shadow flesh. But if you're going to do that at the end of the project, or towards the end of the project, keep it fairly thin, because it is a strong colour. I mean, it's savable. If you do it too heavy, you just go back to some of the other colours and you paint it out slightly. Once you've done all that, you can use other colours to bring the more areas to the flesh, just to give a bit more interest, as they say. I'll keep banging on about this amaranth red. It's lasted me a fair bit. I'll have to get me another one of these. As you can see, it's an orange more or less, and I'll put that around the cheeks, and again, very thin down, or otherwise it will look orange. You just want to put like that orangey glow to it. This is another good colour to use around the cheeks as well. Scarlet, obviously, it's quite orangey in itself. Thin it down again. I'm going to be showing some Napoleonic cavalry figures. They're quite glowy, a bit overly glowy really than what I'd normally paint, but I was just trying something else out. And on 28mm scale, and poking out from a shako, they don't look too bad. So that would give you a really quite warm look. When you're going to paint the eyes, I would put this into the eye sockets first, anywhere where there's going to be some shadow areas, and then I would use something like silver grey, sky grey even, deck tan to do the eyeball, if you're going to doing eyeballs. And then I wouldn't use, say, the standard black, it's a bit too dark, but I'd go like a German grey or a black grey for the eyeball. And if it's hard to look, say, straight, get a figure looking straight at you, then always offset the eyes to the right, to the left, as if they're just glance, the eyes are going left or right. It tends to cover a multitude of sins. If you fancy doing it's like a 5 o'clock shadow, I would suggest with any one of your skin tones here doing something like a bluey grey. You don't want them looking like Fred Flintstone, so very small amount, and I would mix it in with the flesh first to see what it looks like, a small amount of flesh, and if not, just water that down a heck of a lot, or even sometimes dark green and stuff. I know we don't have green beards and stubble and that, but all you're doing is just tinting the skin. and that'll give you. But if you mix that in with a bit of radiant or a bit of one of the other colours you want to use, it does make a nice tint to the chin area without making it look like Fred Flintstone. I think that's about it. I use different combinations, obviously. We've got the Vallejos here. I've been using these. What have you been using them on, Gav? I cannot remember for the life of me. Something I've been painting recently. Anyway, with these guys, doing lighter flesh, again, you've got your medium flesh from Vallejo. That's quite a dark colour. Again, on different types of backgrounds, I've not been using that, but I've been using, I believe, the beige red. So I've been going beige. This is for different colour skin tones, as in Caucasian again, but maybe like a not so sunny appearance. So forsaking this, I've just been putting a couple of 3 coats of beige red on, some medium flesh, I don't know what this one's called because it's rubbed out and I've never wrote on it, but whatever that one is, and then start adding some drops of basic skin tone in it, and that gives you a really lighter colour. I don't bother with the sunny ones, but then I will still again tint it with dark reds, the amaranth or the scarlet, whatever I decide to do. So yeah, as I say, don't get sold on, it has to be I mean, yeah, obviously you can get boxes of, I've got enough boxes of different paints, not so much flesh ones, but red sets, blue sets, you name it. Just don't get dragged into it too much, because sometimes you're wasting your money, when sometimes just 2 or 3 bottles will actually mix you up all you need, really. So I've just obviously added extra bits onto a shopping list over the years, and you end up with a lot more than probably you really need. And as I say, don't get sold on it has to be, this is beige red. It's not part of the flesh range. It is beige red, and yet that's a flesh tone in itself. So yeah, there we go. Hope that's been of help to you, Shaney. Probably as clear as mud. I have got those Napoleonics. I'll be doing at least one under the camera, although there won't be a lot to show there. But I've got other ones coming up as well, so you'll probably see more of this type of thing in action fairly soon. So look after yourselves. Hope all is well with you. Thanks ever so much for the kind support, the words of encouragement, the likes and all that stuff. It really does help. And at the moment, as I say, my wife's visiting a friend at the moment, and she's taken, well, she hasn't taken, but one of the cable that I use to upload my videos, from my phone. So this camera is actually one that Seamy has given me a few weeks back, and before this happened, and it's been great because it's actually saved me, because I wouldn't be able to make any videos one way or the other. However, I don't think I can do shorts and stuff with it, so there won't be any shorts. I've been quite enjoying sticking those up because they're quite quick and I can keep you all up to date with what I'm doing, but there won't be any shorts for a while, just until she comes back with the cable. So look after yourselves. Again, always appreciated what you stand by with me and my little channel, and it means a lot. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very, very soon on another video.